Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And it's just laughable because there's a few things that I think I should point out separately as a separate episode. Although actually they unfolded pretty much today. And as no surprise there, because every time you think that India cannot get any worse, it cannot get any lower, it just goes on a new low. Seriously. And it gives you a sense of how lower India really can go, that there is really no bottom. It's a bottomless pit. India has a history of false flag operations, and it has a history of manipulation of media and manipulation of the news. And obviously, it has a history of usually the Western world working with it to carry that narrative. But unfortunately for India, as we know, this time India messed with one of the countries, one of the allies of the Western world, and that's Canada. Now, understand that Canada and the US may not enjoy very good relations, but Canada is essentially linked to Britain, as is Australia. And this should not be forgotten politically, geopolitically, and centrally, generally. Why? Because despite the fact that America may like to think, again, I would repeat, that may like to think that it is the leader of the free world, it is very far from that. It is in itself, it's not a free country, is so to speak. So America is very much dependent on British, on Britain, I'll say. Let's keep it simple. And because of that, America may like to pretend that it is independent of it all and that, it can do whatever it wants. But notice how America is extremely careful with its relationship with Britain. And because of that, it has to be rather careful when it deals with Canada or Australia. And that is why, despite the fact that Canada and America, as I said, do not enjoy very good relations, but at the same time, America ensures that the relations do not deteriorate. So, as I said, although America would love to backstab Canada, because right now America needs India, and America and Israel are working with India on the genocide committed in occupied Kashmir, simply for the one reason, and that is that they should use that land as their base, in their plans for war against China and Russia, but mainly China. And because of that, we have this now really funny story unfolding where, as we know, India, knowing that America would, most probably back India, because as I said, remember, we had the big three as well, in which Australia and Britain were involved, in which, they tried to, they worked with India on politicizing cricket, and they worked with India on giving India a larger market. And America also obviously worked. So as I said, remember, India did not become a global market on its own. If it thinks that it became a global market on its own, it's wrong. As Pakistan itself is testament to it, that the Western countries made sure that Pakistan would not be a part of the global market, while making India the biggest market ever. So India does not enjoy its position solely due to its own merits. It's in the same way as India, it did not get the World Cup based on its own merits. These are things that were handed to them, by their, alleged allies, the Western allies. And so now, India, when it's actually, when it dared to, use its power to its advantage, in that it actually thought that it could dare to send its officials and its diplomats to Canada in order to murder Hardeep Singh. And then later on, when Canada accused them of it, when the Canadian Prime Minister outright accused India's intelligence and their diplomats for it. They actually had the nerve, I will say, both in the Western point of view, because the Western countries will think that they had the nerve, but also the nerve in the sense that you're a culprit, you're the perpetrator, but you have the nerve, the gall to, act belligerently. So India was belligerent towards Canada. As we know, India's relations with Canada has also not been very good because of India has felt that Canada supports the Khalistan movement, and so India literally was not just belligerent towards Canada, but it literally threatened Canada. The anchors, the mainstream media of India, their anchors, their pseudo journalists, everybody basically started verbally attacking Canada, and they all but admitted to it. They all but took open responsibility for it by actually asking Canada that who is Canada to question India about it, and how dare Canada ask India for an explanation, and that if America can go into Pakistan and kill Osama bin Laden, and if America can go to so and so country. So you see that narrative is exactly the same as I talked about even before this whole incident happened, when I said it will soon be their turn, and then we will see who chooses what side, and how America, the way it's behaving, the way it's acting all over the world will have repercussions, because then slowly, people will start hitting back. And it's, in a way, yes, you can call it hitting back, because it's getting as close to America as possible here, if you look at it in a geopolitical way. So India literally, goes to the backyard of the United States. So it actually attacks a Canadian citizen who also happens to be from India. So there's that thing going on. So India is saying that if America can go to different countries and attack people, just because those people have a problem with America, or America has a problem with them, then why can't India? So they literally said that, and then they pressured Canada to produce evidence. And when the Canadian government did indeed produce evidence showing a link between the Indian intelligence and the murder of Hardeep Singh. And now, all of a sudden, because as I said, now America was stuck in between. First, it tried to weasel out of the whole thing. And yes, no matter how much America would try to defy the Washington Post article, but if that article came out, there is no smoke without fire. So yeah, definitely America, its first instance, when it comes to fight or flight, is flight. So America's first instinct is always to just renege from whatever position it is in. And it was definitely going to snub Canada, but when it was brought to light that that America's stance would be this, then obviously it had some inside repercussions, maybe a warning from Britain, maybe a warning from its other NATO allies, I don't know, but something must have happened, because America suddenly became very defiant in calling that article rubbish and BS, and saying that no, America is definitely going to work with Canada, and and the truth must be found, and blah de blah, and the whole narrative begins. And now India is now cornered. India is now pressured. And what does India come up with? Now, here this is what is so laughable. And this is what shows how low India can always stoop every single time, seriously. I mean, it always sets a new bar for the new low. And it always has one stance. Whenever India has nothing to fall back to, boom, blame Pakistan. Like, yeah, right. Like, Pakistan isn't so busy having to kill its own people that it actually had time to go do you a service, right? Yeah, the Pak army, who was so busy killing its own people, both inside and outside of Pakistan, actually decided that, oh, hey, yeah, you know what? Let's go and kill somebody for you too, right? And that even for free. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless you prove to me that you paid somebody in the Pakistani intelligence like $1 billion to go kill somebody for you. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to do anything for free in Pakistan. Yeah. So you're actually suggesting now, all of a sudden, as usual, all of a sudden now India says that, oh, you know what? The ISI killed Hardeep Singh in order to strain relationships between India and Canada. Like, seriously, what relationship in the first place? You don't have a good relationship with Canada. You already have a very strained relationship with Canada. Thank you very much. I don't see anything here where Pakistan, and again, let me repeat, Pakistan is so busy trying to clean up its own crap. It seriously does not have time to flush your toilet. In fact, if anything, it's probably looking for somebody to come help it flush its own toilet. Okay? They're so deep in their own crap right now, the Pakistani intelligence. They are so screwed up right now. Believe me, Pakistan is never interested in India, neither the Pakistani intelligence, to be honest, and nor the Pakistani people. Their first priority has never been India. India's first priority, as the ugly sister with the inferiority complex that one really wonders why it can never get rid of, is always Pakistan. When they have the elections, just try to attack Pakistan and then do a false flag operation in India and say, oh, Pakistan is attacking us. You need us. You need us. You damn well better vote for us because only we can provide you security. I mean, seriously, you've got nothing better to do, and that is your only election campaign. In Pakistan, you will never see the word India come up in elections. Seriously. I think in Pakistan, the only thing about India that comes up in elections is occupied Kashmir. And that's it. Because that is the main problem here. The only problem is occupied Kashmir. Otherwise, what India is doing, who India is bombing, who India is killing, no, we don't have any interest in India. Why? Because we don't create situations, we don't create false flag operations where we claim that India has bombed Pakistan. India is already very, very active in terrorist activities in Pakistan as it is. And our intelligence and army's main priority is to always downplay it, because the way they think is that if they highlight all the incidents, it's basically they tell you only 50% of the incidents that actually happen in Pakistan. They tell you of only 50% of the spies and terrorists that they catch that belong to Indian intelligence. Um, the other 50%, even though they are caught and their plans are foiled or otherwise, they are not mentioned, because to the Pakistani army, this is, equivalent to a failure. So if they talk about, if they talk about all the raw agents that they catch in Balochistan, especially, and in KPK, then they will have to answer the questions of the public as to why are we paying such a huge sum in the army budget, and why is the army encroaching upon our country, and why is the army pretending to be all powerful when it cannot even take care of the endless walk-ins of India's agents, because literally it's as if they're just walking in a park or something. How is it so easy for the Indian agents to always manage to enter Pakistan? That's the first question that the public will ask. And the second is, what are we paying you for, and why are we wasting all our budget on you if you can't even take care of that? So yes, even if they do take care of that, even if a large majority of the Indian agents are caught and their plans are foiled, still the army prefers not to mention even those wins, even those little or big wins. They try to keep it on the down low, because, as I said, the very fact that the agents are even able to just stride into Pakistan is what we are going to go after. That's how the people of Pakistan are. That is the first thing we'll do, is we're going to ask them that we don't care that you caught them, and we really don't care that you foiled their plans. What we really care about is how is it that they still managed to enter the country, and why is it that you people let them enter the country? So there's that. Plus, Nawaz Sharif and Zardari literally helped them to enter the country. Nawaz Sharif gave visas and jobs to the Indian spies and agents just to enable them to come. Because now, see, that's why I'm saying, if Nawaz Sharif was in Pakistan, or if Zardari was in Pakistan, then yes, we could have believed that, okay, yeah, maybe, you did some inner dealing with each other, and Nawaz Sharif must have said, yeah, bro, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to kill that person for you. Don't you worry. Yeah. But you see, we don't have Nawaz Sharif here, okay? And we don't have Zardari here. Okay, yeah, Nawaz Sharif in his time allowed India to declare Kasab as a Pakistani when he was actually an Indian agent as well. But because Nawaz Sharif was, buddies with the Indian government, as he always is, and that is why we call Nawaz Sharif a traitor. So he literally, worked with them and said, yeah, 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 don't worry, we'll say that yes, he is a Pakistani, even though every single evidence and document later on proved that he did such a sloppy job of it, that ultimately you only found Kasab's family roots in India, and there was nobody in Pakistan who could even vouch for him. So, Nawaz Sharif is not in Pakistan, okay? So he's not here to help India falsify a narrative, and he's not here to, like, add to India's claims that yeah, 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 definitely Pakistan is probably involved. Yeah, there's nobody here right now, okay, to work with India on that. Our establishment and our army and our intelligence are too busy being screwed right now by their own crap. They're so knee deep in their crap. They're trying to get out of their crap. So seriously, nobody has time for this. And as I said, Pakistan is never interested in helping India out, in actually, doing anything for India, because Pakistan has its own fish to fry, as always. And Pakistan's fish to fry right now is to do mainly with taking orders from the US. So do you actually think that Pakistan is in the position to go to Canada and kill Hardeep Singh, when Pakistan is itself right now barely handling the situation that US has created within Pakistan, and that they were supposed to tie on a bow, and gift to the US as a, so yeah. I mean, I remember that India literally, even there was the time when India literally blamed even a mosquito. Yeah, like when there was this, as it is when you have dengue virus and stuff and all. There was a time when India was plagued with the dengue and, malaria and God knows what. And they literally claimed that the ISI created a certain species of mosquitoes and loaded them all on India, like seriously. Even if a bird passes by and shits on their flag, it's like Israel. You look at Israel and you look at India and you think that yeah, the two Nazis, they're definitely related to each other. A crow will pull down the flag, an Israeli flag, and the Israelis will say that this was a crow that was trained by the PLO, and it was trained to come and attack Israel flag. So that's what India does. Even if a pigeon just decides to shit on, on somebody in the military or on some sensitive place, they're like, oh, Pakistan trained this pigeon, and then they sent this pigeon to India, and it actually ordered the pigeon to shit on our military personnel. I mean, seriously, what the? I mean, how pathetic can India be? Seriously. Again, I would repeat myself. Get out of your inferiority complex. You're a huge country. You have so many problems within. Why do you try to always distract your people from your domestic problems? Your people are not interested in your farce of a narrative. Yeah, yeah, believe it or not. But actually, even a good majority of the Indian public do not have time for your antics and your dealings and your falsifications to do with Pakistan. A majority of your public is interested in how you can deal with your domestic problems, how you can deal with the genocide you're committing within India against Muslims, how you can deal with state terrorism, how you can deal with the protests that are growing in Punjab because of the rights of farmers that you are not giving. How is it that you can take care of the economic crisis, the social crisis, and how is it that you could never even take care of the pandemic? You know, because Pakistan is always busy focusing on its domestic issues. That is why Pakistan, well, and in that time, obviously, we had Imran Khan, and as it is, and Imran Khan was more interested in taking care of Pakistan's problems than in dealing with India as it is. His main point with India was constantly this, that you come to the table and talk to me when you're ready to talk about Kashmir. Otherwise, I don't really have time for you. And even then, India was always pulling antics. But Imran Khan really did not have time for India at that point, even though, again, it was India's Western allies, these same Western allies, who worked with India to try to pressurize Imran Khan and try to pressurize Pakistan. And at the end, what happened? At the end, what happened? Where's the big three now? Why is the big three now not working with India? Why the strained relations between Canada and India? Why the problems? So this is where we're at. The utter sad, pathetic, situation and condition of India. The the backstabbing, of allies, the Western allies and India amongst each other, after working together to stab Pakistan in the back. I mean, that is called irony. To me, that is exactly the very definition of karma, which those who don't know how to say the word usually call it karma. Yeah, it's not karma, please. It's karma. Okay, it's from karam, which is actually a Hindi word. And also a Punjabi word, by the way. It's not just a Hindi word, it's also a Punjabi word. And it's also an Urdu word. And what goes around comes around is what karma is all about. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to see how it plays out, how they deal with their own issues now. And again, I would say that, India, as always, just had nothing better to do than to dump everything on ISI. Yeah, right, as if ISI doesn't have better things to do right now. You do realize that ISI has got its hands full with dealing with the public. The fact that the ISI is right now branded as a traitor, the army is branded as a traitor, the establishment is branded as a traitor by the people of Pakistan. Do you honestly think that they are even in their right mind to, go, play spies in Canada? Yeah, no. It's a miracle if they even get out of the situation here safely in Pakistan, you know. So things are already very bad for them. They're stuck knee deep and they have nowhere to go. And I'm sure nobody's in the mood to deal with India's antics. And in fact, nobody's even in the mood to answer India, as far as I can see. Nobody is even bothered right now with India because, as I said, we've got too much on our own plate. Thank you very much. So you just stop dragging us into your shit, okay? Learn to flush your own toilets, please. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm hoping that our own people will also learn to flush their own toilets instead of now looking towards their masters, the US, to come help them. And they have realized that. They have realized that, which is why now they're begging for Imran Khan to somehow, help redeem them, in the eyes of the public of Pakistan, which I'm sorry is not going to happen. It's gone too far. They've crossed all limits, all bounds. Yeah, it's gone too far. There's no way back. They are not going to be redeemed in the eyes of the public of Pakistan. So, yeah, they have too much on their own hands right now, and they're literally tied up. Yeah. I mean, even if you had to blame Pakistan, you should have at least seen the situation first. I mean, this is the worst time to blame Pakistan. I mean, nobody's going to buy it, seriously. I mean, if it was any other situation, again, Nawaz Sharif and Zardari could have jumped in to maybe, help you with that. And America could also maybe helped you with that. But right now, even America is painfully aware of the fact that this is the worst time to blame Pakistan for anything, because everybody knows what Pakistan is going through right now. I mean, you've actually got to be blind to even think about Pakistan in this situation. And that again shows how stupid India is. You always think that Pakistan is stupid, and then you go and then India tries, India is in a never ending competition with Pakistan, even in stupidity. India's like, what? The people of Pakistan are calling their people stupid? They're calling their government stupid? I'll show them who's stupid. You know, even that has to come into dick measuring, seriously. Oh, we're stupider than you. Yeah, you definitely are. Well, this is me signing out. Khuda Hafiz.